I had this dream in 2013 at the end of the summer. I had had a dream that my whole family had gone on vacation, and it looked like it was Colorado. There was mountains and trees and beautiful water and just beautiful. And it was in the morning, and we decided we were going to go down and have some breakfast, and then we were going to go for a hike up the mountains, and we knew it was going to be a long journey, so we wanted to leave early. And we got to downstairs, we came down the stairs, and there was a sign there that we knew we weren't allowed to go in there, and these people weren't allowed to come on our side. And it was a formal dining room. I like this picture just because it had a sign there saying this way, because in my dream there was a sign there, and I knew those people couldn't come into our dining area, and we weren't supposed to go in there. And in my dream, I knew the people that I saw in this room, and I knew none of them were following the Lord. None of them were Christians. And they were glaring at us, and we just quickly walked from that dining area into our dining area, which was this one. It was very basic, very comfortable, very open, big, spacious, and we had all of these large windows, and we could see outside, and it was beautiful. Half of my family had already been down and had breakfast and was waiting outside, and the kids were playing, and the rest of us were going to finish eating, and we all were packing backpacks to get ready to go on this long journey. And we had just finished up eating, and at the other end of the dining area, there was a large screen TV that was off. All of a sudden, it turned on, and it was blaring this loud music, and there was a video of a woman, and it was a music video of some kind, and it was pornographic, just outright pornographic. And there were children around, so I had gone over and I was trying to shut it off, and so was my sister, or turn the volume down or something. We couldn't find any buttons to do this. And I remember putting my hands over the worst parts of it while my other sister was ushering everybody outside. And we could not figure out how to shut the TV off. All of a sudden, we see and hear this large explosion of some kind. I wasn't sure if it was nuclear, if it was volcanic. We had no idea. If it was Yellowstone, it was something had happened. And it had broken in all of these windows. And we could see fire and smoke and ash raining down. And we were just making sure everybody was okay. I had gone back into the dining room that we had just come in, the formal one, to check on the people to see if they were okay. And it had turned from a dining room into a hospital, like an ER. And it was chaotic, and everybody was running back and forth, and people were injured. And strangely enough, I look over and I see Prince William lying in a bed, injured, getting ready to go into surgery. And I'm telling everybody, this is it. Jesus is here. Jesus is coming. Time is up. And I walked over to the bed and I said to Prince William, "Do you know Jesus?" And he says, "Yes, I know Jesus." And so I was running everywhere else as fast as I could to tell them, because I knew I didn't have time. And I remember thinking, I don't know if he really knows what that means, and I don't have time to explain it or even to make sure. I run back out to my family, and we decide that we need to get up the mountain to my mother's house, which my mother doesn't have a house in the mountains, but in my dream it made sense. And we got into cars and we decided we're going to get out of town. And everybody was trying to get out of town. And everything was on fire, but there was also water now, like flooding. I don't know where it came from, but there was just water all over the roads. It was washing away the dirt. And there was a military checkpoint, and they were checking each vehicle before they let them leave. Somehow I knew once they checked our cars, they weren't going to let us go. And so we decided to just drive through this checkpoint, and we did. We all did it, we all made it, and no one stopped us, and we end up coming to a tunnel, and we made it through the tunnel okay, and we ended up at my mother's house up high in the mountains, and we were safe. Now, the interpretation I've gotten so far on this is the world. Everybody thinks that we're living in prosperity, safety, security, and everyone's going about their business. And the Bible tells us when Jesus comes back in the end days that people will be eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, which makes me think of the formal dining room, and that the world is going to take the world by surprise. And I believe that there may be a cataclysm. Oh, let's go back. The video. I believe this dream happened prior to the Miley Cyrus video, but I think that's a time stamp of events. I think that the world, it also represents the world today. Just everything is open. Everything's out in the open. You can get to any sin you want. And that goes back to Babylon. It goes back to the Roman times. History repeats itself. And this is a sign of the times that we're living in. That people are lovers of self, lovers of pleasure, and that they are mockers and scoffers and don't believe in any of this. And it's brazen, and they're proud in their sin, just like in the days of Noah, just like in the days of Lot. And that, again, is another sign of the times that we're in. I believe that maybe the rapture could coincide with some kind of cataclysmic event, or maybe multiple ones, because we had the explosion and the flood, and that it could happen before, during, or after that event, but that God is going to protect us through the whole thing. I believe that maybe because of this, martial law will be instituted, and it's going to be bring in a very different kind of an atmosphere, or laws, times, seasons, who knows. And that even the elite, because of Prince William, are going to be affected by this. No one is going to be unscathed by it, because I think this is a worldwide event or phenomenon. I don't know. And that God is safely going to take us through this tunnel up to this mountain, which I think is the rapture. I think that has to do with bringing us into safety prior to the 7-year tribulation. So these are my interpretations of this particular dream. I'm sure there's a lot maybe I missed. I tend to think about these things, and it takes a while for it to come. But I wanted to share this with you and get it out. And I just thank you so much for listening. Today is the day of salvation. If you've not made that commitment, please, please, I implore you to humble yourself. And the Bible says that those that call upon the name of the Lord will be saved, that you believe and that you submit to His authority, not our authority. And I encourage you to read the Word and learn for yourself. Don't listen to any of us. You've got to seek Him out for yourself. This is not religion. It is a relationship with God your Father and Jesus Christ, His Son, His one and only Son, who died for us so that we could be with Him for eternity. He wishes that none would perish. So I just thank you so much for listening, and God bless.